Okay, so the first thing that I want to discuss is requests. You remember we did this, we said request.form and then something.
Yeah.
So request basically gets the data from a client's web page and then send it to us, meaning the server that we've created for our web app. And we need to process that, right? Because the web app is not gonna figure it out itself. So yeah, we use requests, and Flask has made it very easy for us. We just import it and then use it like we did right now. So we're just processing the information we're receiving from the user with a post HTML request. Sorry, HTTP request. The second thing is form. Form is basically a dictionary. We all know what a dictionary is. The cool thing about it is that it's predefined. So all the basic structure is there. We're just, accessing the key and value pairs inside a form. And again, it's made very easy for us. Okay, so if you run your application right now with the code that we have, you're going to see something like this. Well, not without the something here. You can add a new recipe to your web app. Let's all do it right now. Just run the application. And since I'm too lazy to actually do something meaningful, I'm just going to do this. And when I click submit, I see something or the name of the thing that I just created appear on the screen, right? And I can go and click on it, and the name appears, the description, the ingredients, and the instruction. Let's all do that and see if it works or not. Tell me if it works or not. Cool. We've all done this, right? This is our code. We've all went through this. Now, let's go take a deep dive and see what does what inside of our code. So, as a task, let's explore. Okay, so when we enter something, it just appears on the screen. How? Where is the logic behind it, meaning the back end of our program, and which block of code inside of our templates makes it possible for us to see this on the screen? I'll give you time, look at the app pie first and see where we're getting the information and processing it. And then look at index, base, and recipe to see how we're displaying all the data that is visible to the user or client. Whenever you figure it out, tell me in the chat just that I've done it or I've made sense of it or something. So what we're doing is that we're trying to make sense of our blocks of code. We have a bunch of different stuff here. So we're just trying to figure out first, how are we, right now, we can add whatever that we want here. We have 4 fields, right? We're trying to understand where did we put that block of code that made this possible to receive information from the user first, so the logic backend. Second is how are we viewing it? What HTML did we use? Yeah. You know the answer, David. Cool. Waiting for others. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, tell me. Hi, Georgi. The code is on Discord.
Like, yes, but it's not extracting. Like when I open it, like,
What do you mean?
when I open it in WinRAR, it's like,
It should be a file.
yeah, it's showing the file, but I don't know how to download.
Go to PyCharm and then file, open, and open the project like that.
Okay, wait. I opened it. There's the session 5 file. I opened. There's idea, page, and PyCache, static, templates, random, app, py, and helper.
Exactly.
Oh, and which should I open?
All of it. We're working with all of it.
Like
That's
how?
how.
It's not opening. I don't
Did
know
you,
how to download it.
it's not downloading. Like when you download from Discord, that's done. Actually share your screen. Let's see what's
I
happening.
just can't because I'm with two pieces. Okay, I'm just gonna share.
Okay. So I'll just do this one. If you look at app Pi, which is the backend of our web app, meaning the user is not going to see what's happening, but the whole logic of our web app is inside here. So here we see this four lines, which is request.form, and we're receiving and handling the data that the user is giving us. And then, okay, so if we only do this, nothing is going to appear on the screen. Why? Because we're not using any HTML. We're just saying, oh, okay, so if this happens, just do this. But if you want to actually show it on the screen, yeah, you can have it here. So for ID and name inside of template recipes.items, which we figured is a dictionary, just, you create this link and then in recipe, we're showing the template description, the recipe, and the ingredients, like we discussed before. Okay, so I just wanted to like make clear the difference between the backend and the front end, that why we do what we do. Okay, that's that. The next thing, I just kind of mentioned it, but which block of code handles the URL of new recipes? So for example, if I go here, the URL is recipe 3. If I go fried egg, is recipe 1. How did we create this? Yeah, but we did some trick. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Of that had something to do with the ID and creating the URL and showcasing it. Yeah, exactly. It's ID plus 1. Yes, and we did it in index HTML, this one. So what we're seeing here is the name, and we have the link to that recipe, and we did it here. We're accessing the ID and name in template recipes, and we're creating the link that we already created the logic in app Pi with what Georgi said, with decorators, and we're just accessing it now. So recipe ID, and then we display the name of the recipe, which we can see on the screen, and this is the end of the program. Why the poker face, Nika? Okay. Oh yeah, so why don't we just add 1 to the ID in the link? because that's just nasty. Plus the logic, because okay, so the thing is the links are already created, right? We're just showcasing it to actually like showcase it because we don't know how many links we're gonna have. So, that's why where was the logic? Here. That's why the new ID that we're receiving has to be len recipes plus one. Okay. And finally, the last thing that we're going to go through is how did we, do that? How is it showing us a bullet point in the ingredients? Yeah. And where did we use it? Which, where? Is it front end or back end? Mm-hmm. David, Nika, and Georgi got the answer. Exactly. Uh, yeah, and recipe HTML, exactly. So another question is, okay, so if I'm just gonna add something else. Okay, so for ingredients, if I can type first, second, and this, and I submit it, go here, how does it figure out to display first and second as 2 bullet points? And like it realized that this is one list object, item, and this is the other list item. Meaning, how did we separate these 2 list items? Because this is, unexpected things, like it's not configured beforehand. We looked over it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but okay, so when we go to the next line inside of ingredients, we have this one here, which is like go to the next line. Whenever we press enter in HTML, that's how it's interpreted. So that's how we handled it, basically.
Can I share my screen for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Close the browser. Calm down. Not sure why this is happening, to be honest. It shouldn't. But it does say, I think you're running something else. Because I can see the other, like the templates here. And why do you have everything open? Close only the ones you're using.
He's in another folder, and I think he opens another file.
Yeah, he is opening, I think, the first one that we just like created the hello world thing.
You can show says in folder, and this is a folder he wants.
Oh, I sorry, I forgot to unmute. So I had deleted this hello world but it's still.
You're opening something else, to be honest. I'm not sure how you're doing it, but
I don't know, like
Okay, hold up. Open the temp. Okay, so on the left side, you see a folder templates
Mm,
in the beginning, like the top.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, not there. Just like
Templates, yeah.
yeah. So you don't have any templates, and in the actual folder there are. Okay, tell me how you're opening the file. I want to know.
Like, and
No,
this
that's not how you do it. Okay, file, open,
file,
open.
open.
Go to the
Oh,
folder that yeah, the session 5 Flask form.
yeah, I already went there. And there's up pi and helper pi.
Just click on session 5, not the helper. Just
Oh, the temp.
no, just open the folder, not the files, the actual folder.
Okay. So folder
Session 5 Flask form.
HTML Flask Form.
It's right there. Just open the actual folder, not app py. Go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Session
yeah.
5. That one.
Press OK.
Yeah, press OK now.
Okay.
This
This
window.
window. Yeah.
Terminate.
Terminate.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah.
So it should work now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now open the sidebar in project sidebar, the thing over there, the left corner, down, not there, to the left, to the left.
Okay. I just can't hear anything. So.
So you can see the project files, bro. It's and to the left, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there you go.
Oh, thank you.
But okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Nicholas, you were saying something?
I need help.
Yeah. What's happening?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
What is this all about?
That's fine. It really doesn't matter. Wait, why is your do you have PyCharm Professional or PyCharm Community?
No, it's just PyCharm.
Oh yeah, I know, but I don't think this is professional.
For some reason, I cannot run it or anything.
Yeah, because it's Flask. Yeah, but it's PyCharm. Yeah, maybe people install Flask on the terminal. You still don't have your setup. Like, this is the 6th session.
No, I installed Flask. I
Then
have
why is
Flask on it.
It's not recognized in Flask. Just say you can install Flask.
I didn't hear you.
Just copy paste what Milana said in the chat. Pip install Flask.
Oh.
And paste it in the terminal. Okay.
Okay.
And the last question for today. Like, can I share my screen again?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's talk about new stuff. Till now, we had to use a lot of HTML to create what we want to actually create. Flask has a very, it's almost magic. It's a module called Flask WTF. And yes, you heard me right, Flask WTF. And it helps us just, create classes and just deal with the HTML. Yeah, exactly. So it's cool. So for example, if I want to create a string field, like we did for when we want to input text. So Remember how in HTML we put HTML, like input type text? All we have to do is basically just create a class and inherit from Flask Form and say, okay, I want a string field, that's the same as text field, and submit field, which we basically, the button that we, created for submit. Yeah, this is the 2 lines that you need, which is pretty damn cool. Now, what is Flask Form? I just mentioned. There's a very useful class inside of Flask WTF, and it has all the HTML inside of it, and we're just inheriting from it. So instead of actually typing it, we're just, reusing the same stuff from Flask WTF. And WTF stands for WT Forms, and it's basically, the HTML, CSS, everything that we need for interactive user interface. And it's built in. So yeah, these are the fields that we can create. So a text field, we had that before with HTML. Boolean field is just like a checkbox. You can check either boxes, like, female, male, and then you can check female or male. Decimal field, you can enter, decimal numbers, integer, self-explanatory. Radio field is, radio buttons that we see everywhere. And there's like a bunch of options and you can choose one of them. We have select, text area, password field. We had password field before, you know how it works, and submit field. So you can see here. So input type, submit, value, submit. So instead of this, you just say submit field. So it's not something new. You already know the logic. It's just making it easier for us. That's basically what Python does. First thing first, we have to actually import Flask Form from Flask WTF. If you have PyCharm, it's already installed. You have to just import it. And then we can, create a class that inherits from Flask Form. So Flask Form, we don't see it because we just imported it. It's a bunch of code and it's a huge class and we're just inheriting everything inside of it. And we're just choosing the things we need. For example, in here, I created a variable called myTextField. And this is gonna be like a string field or text field. And this is the label for it and a submit button. So submit field and submit name. This is the label. Just explain that. Okay. In case you forget, you can always go back to this to see, okay, so this is the variable. So the variable is where the magic happens. So if I want to actually showcase it in the front end, I have to use the variable. And this is the type of field that we were creating, and this is the label. Okay, let's look at an example. So first of all, you see this new thing, which is, first of all, see that we have to import whatever that we're using, for example, string field and submit field, and it's from WTF forms. Yeah, so that's there, that's the import part. And then we have something new here, like config secret key something. And this is just basically for security reasons. We'll just discuss this later. And the next thing we saw that how we created the class. Then we have to create an instance of the class in the row that we want. For example, here is in the home page or index. And we're inheriting from the class we created. And then we're returning, the render HTML template, which we had before. We're just rendering the HTML. But there's something new. Template form equals Flask Form. What we're doing here is that we said that in order for the user to see the logic is to, use it in the front end, and meaning templates. So I'm storing Flask Form, which is an instance of my form, inside of a new variable called template form. And since I'm rendering the template, I can use this inside of my template. Now you might wonder, like, why aren't we just saying Flask Form equals Flask Form? Why do I have to say template form? And that's because when things get, like, a little bit nasty and like huge, you're just gonna be so confused. That's why we put different names for even like if it's the same thing. So that's I got confused late before, so just
Template form is the same as a Flask form.
yeah, exactly. But the difference is that I can use template form inside of my templates, meaning the HTML files. So that's the
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yes, I can repeat. Yeah, it is OOP basically, this one. Yeah, that's what the fuck. Okay. Yeah, I can repeat.
So the
Yeah.
my secret is like a security.
Yeah, I'll
Like
just explain this in the next
okay,
slide.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just gonna explain template. Milana, do you want the template form or should I just start over? Def my oh yeah. Okay, so this is my road. This is just a function we're using for homepage. And yeah, so I created a class here. It's called my form. I have a text field and a submit button. And then I inherited I created an instance of my form and I stored it in Flask form. Now I want to use it, for the user to actually see what I've done to make sense. So the front end. And for front end to actually understand what I mean by Flask form, I need to render the template. And inside the render template, which we had like in session 2, I'm just, template form equals to Flask form. So template form is what I can use in my HTML files. It's the same as a Flask form, but it's suitable for HTML, basically. I don't think anyone likes syntax. Cool. Okay. Now about the security thing. So we have some things called CSRF or cross-site request forgery. It's the most common type of attack that we have for web apps specifically. And well, they can be kind of fragile in a sense of, you can have access to the database if you work hard enough, because that's the whole point of a web app, right? Because we have to interact with the user. So
it's like a protection, yeah.
we are protecting, yeah. So yeah, app config secret key. We actually there is an HTML. Actually, I think I have it in the slides, and the HTML is a lot scarier than what we can see here. Can you say like what is that form class for? To create a form with in this case, a form with a text field and a submit button.
Oh, and I have a question.
Yeah.
So what the secret key is doing? Does it have any meaning or just
You
like?
can just set it. I mean, this is just an example, but this is the secret key that you're configuring.
So the main shield is like my secret.
The
Like
main
my
is
secret is
not having this line.
oh.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have a task, and in the whole 3 tasks of this session, we're trying to create a comment form with like you can see in the screen. So for each recipe, there should be a comment, and we can add whatever that we want. But we can do it, we are going to do it step by step, so we realize exactly what is happening with each block of code. Okay, now open the slides, and there's I think 3 steps, 4 steps, and yeah, tell me whenever you're done. That's a very good question. No, you not in session 5. I uploaded a new file. Let me see what was it called? Right, I called it session 6 on Discord. So here, this one. You can download it and yeah, do this. Which slide? It's slide 26. Yeah, guys, I forgot to mention it. You have to download the session 6 zip file because we added a bunch of stuff.
I can't find anything in the chat.
It's in Discord, project files, session 6.
Like, I mean, I get a Flask.
Sorry?
What you told me last time about like
It's in our Discord,
the
project files, and then session 6.